First, however, is our guest speaker, Shanaz Gulzar, the Creative Director of Bradford City of Culture 2025. Shanaz, over to you.
Thank you very much, Councillor. I hope everybody can see me. As you can probably tell, I'm in my car, not driving, I promise. It's all nice and static. I was just on my way back from a meeting, and I thought I definitely want to make sure that I can get here and to share with you where we are on our journey with 2025 on time. So I'm somewhere on the M5 in services. This is day 3 of me being in post. I started on Monday the 24th of October, and we've been really, over the last couple of weeks, especially before I started, really been thinking about the next 3 months till the end of the year for our programme of activity, what we are doing. But what I'd really like to do is actually share with you just some of the kind of key areas, give you a sense of what 2025 might feel like, what our 4 themes are, and how we are working those themes, some of our kind of volunteer opportunity, and what next with where we are and how people can get involved. So if someone can please enable me being able to share my screen, I would really appreciate that, because I have a PowerPoint. I don't think I can screen share yet. Somebody can enable me.
Apologies, Shanaz, I'm just trying to see that setting. Bear with me.
Okay, it says only meeting organisers and presenters can share. In the meantime, while we're waiting for that, what I can tell you is our 4 themes. When we were thinking about the themes that would truly represent Bradford, as some of you might know, I was chair of the bid, and I am a local lass. I was born and brought up in Keighley, and I brought my daughter up in Keighley as well. So there are 2 local lasses. We wanted to create a series of themes that actually truly reflected Bradford in our alternativeness, in our socially progressive nature, our kind of inventiveness, and how we really wanted to approach our 2025. And not only that, how we felt that we could truly create a bid that represented our district. So I am going to screen share quickly. Just give me 1 minute while I do my, as I call it. Can everybody see this? Yes. It should say BD25 on your screens.
It's not come up yet. It's just maybe having a think for a moment.
Okay. Is it visible now? Is it still having a think?
I can't see anything showing a minute. I can still just see the video of yourself.
Okay, I'm just going to try that one more time. Please bear with me, everyone. Try it again. Desktop window. If it doesn't screen share, it's not too much of a problem, but I'd just be amazing if people could see some slides. How's that looking?
I'm afraid it's still just your video, Shanaz.
Okay, no worries. I will forget about that. So the 4 themes that we thought would truly represent Bradford, and trying to kind of create a bid that was across our wonderful, fantastic, amazing district, because this is a district-wide bid. It's not, you know, previous cities of culture have literally been the city of culture. So Derry, Londonderry, Hull, Coventry, that was the city. For us, it's the city district. So it's from, you know, Ilkley to Keighley to Gomersall to, you know, Wyke. District-wide means district-wide. So we kind of really thinking about what our themes were. And so first of all, kind of really kind of looking at that, the fact that it was a district-wide bid, everything is connected. and everything is connected, kind of is about sustainability, it's about climate change, it's about neighborhoods, it's about communities. The second theme that we were kind of beginning to play with as well, because everything is connected, gave us that connection, you know, on a human and science level, and thinking about it from a kind of like almost like a research, health and research perspective. The second theme that we thought really represented Bradford was City of the World, thinking about its history of immigration, its history of industry. So it's not just people coming into the district, but what the district has actually done from an industrial perspective for the world. Our third theme was really kind of hitting it on the nose with the fact that we are the youngest city in the UK. We're one of the youngest in Europe, but we are the youngest in the UK. And by 2025, 30,000 of our young people will turn 18. So the idea of having a fantastic, amazing 18th birthday party that is across the world, inviting other 18-year-olds, whether that's physically or online or through some fantastic worldwide coming of age party. So the theme of coming of age is very much around young people, but also our coming of age as a city. Our coming of age of the rest of the UK recognising our potential, our narrative, our inventiveness, everything that we know we already are. And then the final theme is there's a very iconic piece of graffiti in as the train pulls into the interchange in Bradford, welcome home sexy. And I just love that theme. It's very playful, it's inventive, and it kind of gives access in a way, I think, to us kind of thinking, who could we invite to Bradford, as well as our alumni, kind of thinking about some of the kind of major names, both dead and alive, who we could kind of, those that are no longer with us, how can we bring their work, their words, their images, what they have created home, and those who are alive, how do we invite them back? What could we possibly do with them? And obviously, you know, everybody's probably thinking one of the greatest living artists is David Hockney. How can we invite David Hockney home? What is the offer that we can give David? So really kind of beginning to think about that. We are looking at, just kind of give you a sense of activity over the year. And please bear in mind, this is my third day in post. We are looking at 1,000 new performances and events across the year, 365 artists commissions, 100 community-led arts projects, 52 artists in residence. We are looking for 24 festivals. Some of these festivals are already, you know, kind of growing in the district. How do we elevate them? How do we grow them? How do we lift them? And 15 major national and international collaborations. 2025 is a year of culture, and it is across all art forms. It's music, it's literature, it's theatre, it's outdoor, it's site specific. We're a rural district. We're incredibly lucky, and I think the first UK city of culture to have the rural playground that we have. And, you know, depending on, you know, who you're talking to, it's either our wonderful fantastic stage, or it's our wonderful fantastic stadium, or it's our wonderful fantastic canvas. Depends who the artist is that we are speaking to at the time, but it is our playground, a real opportunity for us to kind of start a conversation around what, you know, mental health, well-being, being based in this beautiful, amazing district, the opportunity that this district, this rural kind of landscape gives us that no other UK city of culture has had. And the program that we are trying to create over the course of the year and over the course of the district will bring in a lot of national and international partners, but also will grow our sector, our cultural sector in Bradford. It will also grow our, you know, partnerships between sectors. We kind of really looking at exploring our diverse heritage, the future of our cultural, social and economic exchanges nationally and internationally, we want to not just welcome home our great talents, but we're also going to give space to creating new talent and to finding and discovering new talent. One of the kind of key focuses over the year, as well as kind of elevating and telling our story for ourselves, being able to be our own narrative, there's a sense of unexpectedness that can emerge from Bradford. When I talked about our inventive, innovative approach, our kind of socially progressive approach, our ability to kind of have a DIY culture. Now imagine that multiplied. Imagine that given the platform that a UK city of culture can. Being the youngest city in the UK, we've got 100% focus on new talent and fresh thinking. We have under that kind of umbrella of the theme of coming of age, we have Digital Creatives, which is a partnership with Born in Bradford, the British Library, the Arts Council, Channel 4, and Raspberry Pi and Lego. And what Raspberry Pi gives our young people is the opportunity to create new, innovative, exciting, really exciting. I like the word inventive over the word innovative, because inventiveness means you kind of, it's as creative, science is as creative as arts, and kind of beginning to really kind of join the dots and kind of thinking about a science, technology, engineering, arts and maths agenda. We've heard a lot about STEM. I'm really excited to kind of explore the opportunities of STEAM. Also thinking about, not, I've mentioned our landscape, I've mentioned our young city, but what can we offer our older population? I'm keen to explore how we can kind of look at ideas around creative aging. Bring it, kind of giving the opportunity for young people and our older generation to work together. Could there be a game that is created? What could we do with our ramblers on the moors? How can we work with our our nearest neighbours and Yorkshire Sculpture Park, and what could be the relationship there? I think we are so wonderfully and brilliantly placed to create a very, very unique offer in 2025 culturally, not just for us, but for the UK and internationally. Again, I think that is unprecedented with other UK cities of culture. I mentioned the kind of the approach of kind of coming at it from a kind of this idea of innovators, contrarians, inventors, doing it ourselves if we can't find a way of other ways of doing it. Kind of really thinking about that offer and kind of focusing on the offer that we can give from to kind of develop opportunities for volunteers. Volunteering sits very much at the heart of Bradford's history, who we are as a district. But then if we can multiply and accentuate that offer, imagine being able to offer 3,780 volunteers to work over 11,000 volunteer days in a UK city of culture. Previous UK cities of culture have had very, very successful volunteer programs. Hull and Coventry have done incredibly well. I was back in Coventry for a meeting about 3 weeks ago, and as soon as we came off the train into the train station, 3 volunteers, UK City of Culture is finished in Coventry, but 3 volunteers were there in the branded colours of Coventry City of Culture. And immediately it was kind of looking at it from a perspective of legacy, perspective of ownership, perspective of that city owning their UK City of Culture. That opportunity that we have to work with some of our kind of local partners with volunteering, I think we can grow what Hull and Coventry have done and kind of build on that, and hopefully kind of create a really strong offer for volunteers. We will be giving bespoke training ranging from short briefing sessions to fully accredited city and guilds, level 2 customer and servicing qualifications. Direct benefits for our volunteer cohort could include, Bradford Citizen Coin Rewards, free and reduced tickets to BD25 events, merchandise, branded clothing, and further volunteer social events. In my previous roles within the cultural sector, and the kind of the offer for volunteers, especially when it comes to accessing cultural events that they might not naturally have thought would be something they're interested in, that's been a real key factor to developing and driving growth for volunteering. And it's been amazing to hear how volunteers who wouldn't have thought that a particular event was for them, after they've seen it, we hadn't considered that this was something we'd be interested in, but actually it's fascinating. It's something, you know, that I'm really glad that I did this. I can now see where this artist was coming from. It's that level of unexpectedness and that level of kind of giving opportunity, and challenging ourselves as well, challenging what we think. Actually, you know, that's an art form that I really love. I'm not so sure about that one, but actually we challenge ourselves and then we can challenge others. And I think that's a key focus for our City of Culture. As well as the volunteering at events, as I've mentioned earlier, with Coventry, they kind of worked with their volunteers for meet and greets. As I mentioned, at train station, at main thoroughfares, in shopping centres. Imagine having our volunteers based in primary schools, secondary schools, gig buddies. I mentioned that relationship between our older generation and our younger generation. Volunteers to accompany those who are isolated or older or vulnerable or feel unsure about attending an event. Environmental champions, cultural champions, how's it going researchers. The opportunities are multiple, but incredibly key in the offer that we have for our volunteers. As I said, I'm on this is my third day in role, and I have very much been focused on recruitment. I think many of you who have been following the journey of 2025 and are actually linked in with our socials will have seen that as soon as we won the designation, we went into recruitment for our senior leadership team. I've started this week as creative director, and Dan Bates is starting in the first week of December as executive director. And we are a dual leadership, and both of us have come from a really kind of embedded cultural art sector heritage in our careers. Currently, we are recruiting for our exec assistant and an office manager. More recruitment will come out over the course of the next 3 months because we are further growing our exec team, and we are trying to kind of deliver the work that we are doing according to the schedule that we proposed. For those, just to kind of have like real clarity on the start and end of 2025, as a result of COVID, Coventry started their year of culture, which was originally meant to be January 2021 to December 2021. They started it in June 2021 and then completed it end of May 2022. We have done what I call a factory reset. We've done a refresh button, and our year of culture, you know, with the world pandemics notwithstanding, will start on January the 1st, 2025. Having done that, we have lost 6 months, and we are trying to kind of very much in these first 6 months of me being in post and Dan being in post to try and kind of have a very focused, very driven kind of capacity and resource development for us as a team in order to deliver some of the program that I've mentioned earlier in this presentation. By 2025, there will be up to 80 new jobs created in the Bradford 2025 team alone. And then further on top of that, there will be opportunities for freelancers and kind of more short-term contracts that will be needed to help us deliver some of our ambition and some of our thinking around 2025. There will be research and development opportunities for artists, both local, nationally and internationally. I mentioned earlier about developing our cultural sector, growing our cultural sector. A lot of that is also about actually, you know, being based with major artists in studios, major institutions, being able to do internships, fellowships, mentoring, exploring all the opportunities that we can give our sector in Bradford. We're a very, strong sector. We punch above our weight. Thinking about some recent projects that have actually been seen across the country. And actually, I want to grow that opportunity for artists from all art forms. Cultural sector research and development, and exploring opportunities for cross-sector partnerships. It's been really, during the development of the bid for 2025, it was absolutely mind-blowingly energizing and refreshing to see how the different sectors were wanting to work together, and the conversations, some of the kind of early, what I would call germinations of ideas that have started. How can we grow those and how can we build those? So we're looking at that kind of cultural sector, cross-sector partnership, research and development. 2025 has teamed up with Bradford Council and Community Action Bradford and District to apply for funding for the volunteer programme. We were successful in that, and that is the Spirit 2012 funding, which is as a result of the Olympics in 2012, where there was a real recognition of the empowerment that communities can have, how a city, a district, a town can come together through opportunities for volunteers, and the learning that the Olympics had of a volunteer programme. Finally, just to kind of give, and I'll put all of these in the chat so everybody has these hashtags, email addresses, and so on and so forth. Please follow us on Bradford 2025 on our social media. I'll put the hashtags in there, and they are hashtag Bradford 2025 or hashtag City of Culture 2025. Please do sign up to our mailing list to hear all the latest news, job opportunities, etc. And that is www.bradford2025.co.uk. And if you're interested in volunteering, please do link and kind of to the Google form, and I'll share that link, and fill in your details and let us know if you're interested in volunteering. If you have an idea, please do let us know, what ideas you might have, or if you think there's a connection that you might want us to make that we might not have already made. Doesn't even matter if we've already made it. If you think, there's a really interesting person over here, it'd be great if you could talk to this person, please do get in touch and let us know, and I will post that link as well, which is on our Bradford 2025 website. I think that's all I have got to say for now, but please do follow us. Please do link up with our social media. We've been incredibly successful in pulling together the district for the bid, and I want us to be as successful to create a phenomenal, and I truly, truly believe, extraordinary UK City of Culture, a year of culture in 2025 that will just, I think, put the designation on the map. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for that, Shanaz. All the exciting things and the great work that's going to be happening on Bradford 2025. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm sure it would have been much, much brighter and better if we could have managed to share the images and the PowerPoint with that. But I'm sure that all of that kind of thing is also available on the 2025 website. So I think people can find out some more there. Thank you very much.
I'll share the details of the links and things in the chat now. And I will be leaving after this because I do have to drive another 2 hours to get back to Bradford. But if anyone does want to please reach out, please do fill in that form. I am going through all of that as part of the first week and second week in post.
Great. Thank you.